Hi, I'm Grace.
Hi, I'm Pierce.
And this is Adjusting to the Curve.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to another episode of Adjust to the Curve. Today, we have two beautiful women that have been in our lives since the beginning of time, it feels like, obviously. My mom and Grace's mom, and Miss Christina, if you would go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Grace's mom. My name is Christina, and hey, and I am from the St. Louis area. I live in Washington. Well, I live in Labadee, and I work in Washington. I'm a loan processor at a local bank here, and I've been in the St. Louis area my whole life. And I'm probably Grace's biggest fan. So.
Hello, my name is Harriett Jackson. I am Pierce's mom. I have been knowing him for a very long time, longer than he's known himself. I'm so proud of him because he just does a lot of stuff. I am originally from Memphis, Tennessee. I currently live in Texas, in the Frisco area. I've been here for a very, very long time. I am currently, I transitioned about maybe 2-3 years ago to the teaching education profession. So, like she said, I am Pierce's biggest fan and cheerleader, and plan to be until I can't anymore.
That's beautiful. Thank you. So for our first question, I just wanted to ask you, Mom, what was your knowledge before I went to college for chiropractic? What was your knowledge of the entire profession of just chiropractic? Did you have any, or like, what were your?
Well, to be honest, I had limited knowledge in the field of chiropractic medicine. I don't think, a lot of people were doing it, or a lot of people was aware of what going to a chiropractor was about. From what I knew, all I knew is that chiropractic school was very expensive, and that chiropractic still didn't get a lot of the attention and stuff. But I mean, it's different. I did my personal research. When you first told me you were going to chiropractic school, my first thing was like, oh my God, and then, I did my own research to see, chiropractic medicine is very popular now. It's preferred now. And so, I'm glad you did it.
Okay, Mom, your turn. What do you think? What did you know about just the profession and about school? I guess like med school and chiropractic school before I started.
A lot of what Pierce's mom said, I agree with. I'd been to the chiropractor several times, in my lifetime, but I didn't, just living in the St. Louis area, I knew about Logan just because I'm from this area, and I knew that it was the top chiropractic school in the country. Other than that, I mean, I didn't really know a lot about chiropractics, except, like I said, I had been to them a couple of times for like issues that I had with my back or different things, and it always helped. I have always been more of a medical doctor type person, so learning what chiropractics can do versus just pumping yourself with medicine, I'm more excited to learn about that as Grace learns about it, and she teaches all of us what she learns. And so I'm just excited for Grace and for her to be able to help all of her friends and family members out. And I know she's interested in other things too besides chiropractic, like the acupuncture and things like that. And again, I'm really interested in learning about that, down the road whenever she is introduced to that. So I know that she's in a good school, and I'm just proud of her for everything she does. And when she talks about her, she'll sit at our table and do homework and talk about what she's learning and parts of the body and stuff. And I'm just like, how do you know that? Amazed at the knowledge that you guys all have and just how smart you are, because I could never do that. So I'm just really proud of her.
I guess that kind of goes into our next question of did both of you kind of know that this was something that Pierce and I were going to go into? Because just like Pierce's mom said, you guys know us better than we know us. So I think it's really important that you guys obviously knew what we were going to do, I'm assuming. So I guess, Mom, if you want to go first, did you know that I was going to go into something like this, or had a feeling I was going to go into something like this?
I didn't know. I kind of figured that you were going to do something in the medical field, because when you were in high school, I know you had talked about going into nursing. But I didn't know exactly what you were going to do. You are very into health and wellness and fitness. And I think that all of that really ties into chiropractics. I know that that's just a part of, naturally healing the body. And that's what chiropractics is too. So I think the two go hand in hand. I mean, the fact that you love fitness and you work out like you do, and I've learned a lot from you on that. So I think that the field that you're in is perfect for you. It seems like I don't know, it just seems like this is really a good fit for you. So I'm glad that you chose this.
Okay, here's Mom, you want to go next?
Yes, I was a little surprised that it was actually a medical field for Pierce, but I knew he was going to get into something that would help him with his why questions. He was, even as a little boy, he was always wondering why did things work like they work. And I remember him as a little boy always, when we would see these commercials on TV about different medicines to take, and then at the last minute they would rattle off all these side effects. And we would both always joke about, wow, well, you might as well just keep whatever issue you have if you're going to have that issue plus all these side effects. So, he would be more interested in how to make that portion of it better. Instead of pumping somebody with some medicines, what else can we do, to heal them? And one thing I like about chiropractic is that it helps more. It's more preventive, and it's more, holistic. It's more of how the body works naturally. And I think that's what Kenny talks about. Like when he gets around our family, even like you remember, Kenny, last Christmas, we have a dog, a family dog. It's one of my sister's dog, that had these issues. And he was just like, he was just like feeling around on the dog, trying to feel for a bone. I was like, okay, so is it doggy chiropractors too? And, it seemed like he wants to know more about everything that being a chiropractor is supposed to know. So, I really like that. I'm just so upbeat about that. I just can't wait so I can tell everybody, oh, my son's a doctor. He can do chiropractic. And I'm gonna be there every day getting some type of adjustment. Is that possible? Can you do it every day?
I guess, but I think chiropractic in its entirety is just something completely different than what people see as the norm, because the norm is going to your monthly or yearly wellness checkup and going to see, okay, this is what's going wrong, this is going wrong. You see the nurses that entire time, and then you see the doctor for 2 seconds. The doctor says, well, this is probably wrong. Boom. And then you're written off, and whatever happens, happens. And I think with chiropractic, it's more personable. It's more of like a face-to-face experience. And I love people. I'll talk to people for days on end. And so Miss Christina, the last question I want to ask both of you, Miss Christina, I want you to go first. As a parent, would you tell others, like, what would you tell other parents to look out for when sending their kids to a not only chiropractic school, but even just a postgraduate education?
At this point, the age and the time in your life that you guys aren't kids anymore. You're out of high school. The decision that you make now has to be your decision. And you can talk to us about what you guys want to do and you can get our advice, but ultimately it's your decision. And I think that, for me, speaking for Grace, I think that she chose the right path for her. I will always be here and listen to her. And like I said, if she, needs to bounce off ideas for school or just, she's having a rough day or whatever, I just always want her to know that I'm always here. But as far as like telling other parents, you got to let them do what they think that they want to do. If it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. I mean, you don't know what you want to do. Sometimes you learn what you want to do by doing things that you don't want to do, if that makes any sense. But I think the biggest thing right now with the age that you guys are being young adults, I have to let Grace go and do what she feels like she wants to do. It's her own path. She's making her own way right now. And the biggest thing that I can do is just be here and support her 100%. And like bake her cookies and food to take to school and stuff sometimes. So I like doing that. I love to be able to just still be a mom, even though she doesn't need mothering anymore. I still want to be able to do some mom stuff for her sometimes. So that's real important to me. But yeah, so I guess that's it.
Yeah. And then Mom, I know, we just had, a grown folk talk because I got to pay some of my own bills now. I'm getting to that age. So what would you tell other parents going into, sending a kid or whatever into chiropractic or postgraduate degree?
Well, first of all, I totally agree with Christina, totally agree. I mean, you all are at the age where, you know enough, you've been exposed to enough to make decisions on your own. The only thing, you remember I told you that at this point, from here on, I'm like your consultant. You just bounce ideas off of me and I'll say yay or nay and weigh in on, what I would think. But basically the decision is yours. And, like she said, sometimes you do have to make those mistakes to see what it is you do and do not want to do. I mean, I feel like you're a very personable person. And, I always tell you, you have to get into something that your personality loves, that your heart enjoys. Because if you don't, when you get 30, you find out you've just been working and working and working and, never seeing any benefit of what you're doing. So, I mean, I just feel like, and also as a parent of a postgraduate child, I think you need to see the passion in it. And I think you do have the passion, to be in this field, because, you got to the point where it's not that you don't care what people say or care what people think, but you do care about what you feel like is the best for you. And I think that's always a good thing. So, and two, now I just love being on the mommy side of it. I just, want to be able to come home and say, oh, I got this thing in my neck. Can you get that out for me? That's what I want to do now. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
I think those are both really, really, really good perspectives. And I'm sure it is, like, I don't ever think about it, obviously, from the mom perspective. And I know Pierce never thinks of it from the parent perspective. But it's interesting because we always have people who have gone to Logan or are part of the Logan community, like being on campus. So it's interesting to have other perspectives off campus. But thank you both so much for being on. I know Pierce and I both really appreciate it. And tune in next week, guys. We have some big, important stuff coming up. So we'll see you guys next week. Bye.